Good morning. It's a lot easier if I do this on a video. So, if you were watching me yesterday at 3:30, we went live to talk a little bit about what happened during the day. Showed a couple of faux show bros on Halliburton and Verizon, which were pretty good trades, as well as the QQQ. Again, turnaround Tuesday in full effect. But turnaround Tuesday now has become gap up Wednesday, but it really wasn't as gapped up Wednesday as you might think. Most of this move happened after the event that we did online. And if you noticed, and I think you did because you were watching, Tesla went right to the prior day VWAP live, showing you the rigging of the market. That was the bottom. And then about an hour later, it did the faux show, bro. And the easy money, as you like to call it, has been made. That was buying Tesla when it broke back over 340. Now here at 254, are you really going to buy it? Probably not. Do you want to fade it? Probably not. Because remember, as nervous as the market is and the uncertainty, that's starting to fade away like every down move we've ever had in the history of the stock market. Inevitably, nobody cares and we go back up, right? So, the idea of this big gap when you walked in, right, there would be profit taking. So, if I came in long from 340, right, or 240 yesterday, and I see the stocks up another, and again, it was at 247.50 when I basically went to sleep. It had spiked to 256 and change. And here it is at 254. Maybe I would sell a little bit. That's why the fade happens, right? But remember, people still think this stock's going to 3,000. So it's still a great buy for people. And they might use this earnings to be just one less thing to be worried about now. And now they'll just keep buying Tesla. More importantly, the Qs, right? Tariff, no tariff. Once again, that's what happened yesterday. Fed, no Fed. And by the way, again, it's very difficult to you know guess what gap is going to happen next on whatever news comes out of the administration. That's part of the market being rigged and fixed and manipulated right now. Hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. Again, if you're not a trader, and I don't know if you want to be watching this movie, but your life is being fucked with every day. So you got Tesla, you got the Qs, right? Boeing reported earnings. It's gapped up pretty big. I'd be looking for possibly a fade on that because they still have some issues. But I want to talk about how unlucky I am, and we all know the story, right? So I bought a stock yesterday, right? I saw it was breaking new highs. I actually read about the company. I actually got my son to apply for a job. That's how much I like the description of this company and what they're doing. Sports gambling, data research, data analytics, global company out of Switzerland. Stock's name is Sport Radar or Sport Trader, whatever you want to call it. Spore, and the symbol is SRAD. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy 100 shares. And I sold a call against it because again, I always do that when I start a position. I buy a stock and I'll sell an out of the money call, kind of like good luck, hoping it goes there. So I buy the stock, right? Because I was saying, wow, this stock has really performed well during during this bear market moment. Man, it's really going to get good when the bull market comes back. It's the only red stock on my screen right now. Like I look at 3,000 stocks, there's only one red stock on my screen right now. One, SRAD. So after I bought the stock, they pre-announced earnings, which were good, but they also said they're going to do an offering. So if the stock fights back today and goes green, I'm putting my life savings in it. But again, I'm going to be buying the stock on dips. I like the chart. Again, bought it at $25 yesterday. It's down 75 cents right now, whatever. Pulls back, I'm buying more. They're going to report real earnings. These were just the preliminary earnings, whatever that means. Pre-announcing good earnings. I guess that should be good. So, but really, most of the money is what I'm trying to say. Is most of the money, if you came in today hoping to see Tesla save the market, it has, or whatever the case. The easy trades on the long side are done. The thing is, usually we come in and say, oh, market's gapped up, let's play the fade. There might not be too much fading right now because the idea that the market's already seen its worst is going to start creeping in, right? As soon as they start talking about recession and market crashes, right? Kramer 2 weeks ago, we came in that Monday, he was thinking there was going to be a crash, and basically that the bottom of the market was in already from that prior Thursday, and now we're working our way up, right? 443.14 was important. We got back above that, which now I think might act as the new support for the entire market on the Qs. That is, and again, I could be wrong. It doesn't matter, but when you're staying focused on just trying to make a day's pay and these enormous numbers are going by, 12-point move here, 20-point move here, 40% move on some other stock, and you're just trying to make a little bit in here, just sit back and wait. I mean, Halliburton was boring yesterday, but it gave you 3 days pay. Hertz turned out to be a monster. That gave you 6 days pay. So I don't want to get in the way of a new bull market because that's how I've ruined myself many times. So just sit back and just wait for the trade. And right now, Boeing just hit 170, 152 times, it's pulling in. That's interesting a little bit to me. But again, I don't want to get in the way of a new bull market that might have just been born yesterday. I don't know. I don't care really about that. I'm just talking about what's happening today. I don't want to take any, risk that I don't have to. So, you know, looking at Boeing, obviously looking at Tesla, we'll see. And here's a gauge of the market. If Tesla stays green today, bull market's back. How about that? I know using generalizations like that, but you know what? Generalizations like that work. Remember when Carvana, Reddit, Palantir, Carvana, Reddit, what was the other one? Palantir, Carvana, Reddit, some other one ran out of steam. And I was like, all right, bull market might be coming to an end here. And it did. Same kind of thing. You need stocks to report earnings and hold their gap. That's bullish. We stopped seeing that 3-4 months ago. So now if Tesla holds its gap, Boeing holds its gap, if the market holds this up move today, super, super bullish because we've been selling the gaps off and they've gone negative. So if that doesn't happen today, bull market's back. Does it matter? I don't know. Still the same day for us. So a couple of the names you want to look at today. The only day you want to ever look at AT&T. It's already a fade. It was gapped up slightly, broke VWAP. It's pulling in right now. VRT, if you guys know about this one, up big, flirting with VWAP right now. Philip Morris, up big, above VWAP. Keep an eye on that one. And as far as yesterday, I forgot who reported other than Tesla. Obviously, I'm watching my SRAD. General Dynamics reported, GD, not much volume. So those are your names. But we're probably going to be focused on the Qs. And as a gentle reminder, UVXY. Remember that? Yeah. Remember when you were supposed to short it above 40 and then it went to 50? And then you were supposed to short it if it got near 60 and then it went to 57.50? Well, now it's at $32. You see now, my friends, if you don't understand the product, it only reflects the fear of the moment. And the moment always passes. And that stock, if you want to call it a stock, always goes down. So if you just short it lightly on the way up, every time, inevitably, you'll make all your money. So imagine you started shorting it at 25 and you might have been scared shit. But if you only had 100 shares and next thing you know, it's at 35, you short another 100. And then, holy shit, this thing's at 45. You're getting crushed. Great. Short another 100. Holy shit, it's at 55. Short another 100, right? And then it starts to actually go down. That's when you start adding to it a little bit more aggressively. And then it goes back to 30. And you went from being down 2 or 3 grand to being up 20 grand. You cannot lose shorting UVXY over any extended period of time as long as you don't over leverage or go on margin with it. Stop. That's it. You can't. It's impossible. Right? And here we are again. Went to 57.50. And now it's back at 32.50 just a couple days later. All right. Good luck today. I'll see you in the room. I'm sure there'll be something, interesting enough to make a day's pay on. Could be Hertz again. The stock's been awesome. But again, usually I'm looking to play the fade. I'm going to sit back and wait. If the market starts tanking at the open, so be it. I want to wait to see what goes on with Tesla. And obviously, oh, look at that. Hertz just started moving. It's about to break $9. So listen, when you're just a day trader doing this for a living, these big numbers start to, I don't know if you're the same as me, but they piss me off. I see 12-point moves here, 20-point here, 15-point rips, and I'm trying to make $300. I feel obsolete, but inevitably when the market gets boring again and you're grinding out a living and you're not getting these massive moves, you'll start to notice that it really is the same day over and over and over again. You kind of get a little FOMO here and a little, you feel a little bit left out maybe, but you'll see a month from now it'll go back to being normal, and the next thing you know there'll be another correction and a rip, and then 3 years go by and you're like, remember that time when the market crashed because Trump was doing some dumb shit? Yeah, that was crazy. And it'll be just a little blip on the radar. So recession, no recession, stagflation, none of that matters. You're just trying to make a day's pay. All right, keep an eye on Boeing. And what else was there that was interesting? Some of the crazy ones this morning. Oh, actually, you know what? ENPH, right? It's interesting right now because it's moving higher. This is a stock that I kind of like on the long side today. Well, liked because it just broke VWAP as I'm sitting here and just ripped $1. There's no reason for this stock to go up. Yeah, best time to buy stock, right? Zero reason. There is no reason for this stock to go up. There's 100 reasons for it to go to zero, no reasons for it to go up. That's kind of where you want to wait for that little VWAP break. And there it is. And it just ripped $1.50. Wow. So ENPH on the radar also. And again, those other names, Philip Morris, maybe, yeah, Thermodynamics. Was that TMO? No, that's Thermo Fisher. That's about it. All right. Sorry, this was a long-winded video just to get a few points across. But yeah. And if ENPH comes back, we're certainly in a bull market if we ever left the bull market. You realize there's no such thing as a bear market anymore, right? They just name it that. We're in a perpetual bull market. And again, that's why, if you haven't noticed, shorting is short-lived and you're still going to die. Don't tell me that you've been short this whole time and, making money. It's impossible. With every other day, you're having a 6% move to the upside. It's impossible to stay short. So good luck. I'll see you in the room.